Hey, what's up? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to second episode of White Rider, and yeah, hope you guys had a great week and everything. So, um, today I'm trying to decide what I want to do today because originally I had a set list talking about like panic attacks, how to deal with those stuff, uh, learning how to adjust with like what would you call it? Mental disability, mental health, that kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it really hits it on the head. You know, we just actually finished up with my brother. So my little brother, Jacob, super cool dude. He's driving my car right now because he doesn't have. Well, he got in an accident. He doesn't have his car anymore. So he's borrowing mine for the time being. It was having some weird issues, so he brought it over to our place, and we did some things to get it fixed up and get him back on the road and stuff. And I don't know. Now I'm in just kind of this like introspective mode where I'm thinking about what it was like for me to be 19, 20. Some of the like struggles and difficulties that I had to deal with. The crappy thing is I didn't realize that I guess anything was wrong. I mean, growing up, I knew that I had some issues that I guess I brought with me growing up with an abusive stepmom and dad and that kind of thing. But I didn't think that would affect my day to day life. Like I figured if I was just really strong, if I just like muscled myself through it, that everything would be great. I'd be able to just sort of mentally push myself into being happy and normal and that kind of stuff, and then just go from there. But gosh, if I could go back and see that like 20-year-old, I'd probably tell him to maybe recognize his situation is a little bit more serious, you know? Because that's the thing. So, like, after I woke up in the hospital and found out that she being my late wife, was gone and, wasn't coming back, I went to some pretty dark places. And, there were some times where I thought that the world would be better off without me, you know? And here's the nice thing about hospitals is that you're there. You're already there. You're already at the place where the people take care of you, and when they hear you say stuff, when they're answering questions, they can sort of lift an eyebrow and be like, "Oh, huh. I wonder if that guy's in trouble because he's talking about stuff that I don't bring up at the dinner table. So let's maybe delve into this." And then you actually get the help that you need, right? Like I was able to be referred to a psychiatrist and a therapist, who I'm still working with right now, just to figure out all of this stuff because working with those guys, that's where I learned that that I suffer from major depressive disorder and PTSD. Stuff that I don't know. I just think it's so dumb, you know? Why me? Like why do I have to be one of the guys that has to like, talk to somebody about triggers and how my body goes into fight or flight response when something crazy goes down? Like I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that's thinking about like what stock dividends to jump into and whether I'm rich enough and wide enough to own a boat. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to be worried about. But no, I get to like keep a daily tracker of whether or not I've taken my like antidepressants, which I am keeping track of it. So a little pat on the back for myself on that regard. But yeah, and I guess that's kind of what I have on my set list. That what I have for my notes on what I want to talk about today is just I don't know having to deal with these like life changing things, if that makes sense. For example, like I'm a pilot. Like I hold a pilot's license. I used to rent planes every once in a while to go flying around and go see like really cool adventures and things like that. However, that's not the case anymore because I need to, like disclose that, if that makes sense. Disclose the prescriptions that I'm on and, go through sort of like an audit to have somebody that's higher and older and wiser than me determine whether I'm smart enough to fly a plane before I can get those qualifications reinstated. And that was never on my mind. Never did I calibrate or plan to have to, sort of finagle my way into reinstating my pilot's license. Like that's a reality that I'm still trying to process and figure out. And I'm sure everybody has sort of experienced that at one point in time, whether that be like moving career fields even when you didn't expect to do that, or losing a loved one. I mean, that's something that all of us experience at some point in time. So having to deal with that loss and adjust to that way of life, because it really is an adjustment. I mean, I hear about these families that like lose children, and I don't know how they continue to go to work and stuff. I'd probably just shut down and be like, you know what? I found the purpose of life, and the purpose is that there isn't a purpose. So I'm just gonna stay inside and I don't know, watch home videos until the second plague comes around or something like that. But again, I'm not, I guess, strong enough to handle something like that. So that's just more like a hypothetical. But yeah, this week was a lot of, I don't know, just learning to accept myself. Gosh, this sounds so ridiculous, man. Like I was supposed to come in here prepared and ready to, I don't know, tell stories and tell you guys about like what happened during the week and stuff like that. And instead, I'm honestly like self-reflecting right now. That's sort of what's going on, and it's cool. But I can do that on my own time. I don't need to be doing that on a podcast when I'm talking to other people. But I can already tell that I'm broken and sort of working some scratch. Yes, yeah, okay. That was one of the things that we wanted to talk about today. Was the being broken again, and not broken in like, oh, I can't ever be fixed again, and life is terrible, and how did this happen, and woe unto the good people and whatnot. But more of broken in the sense of we're kind of back at square one in terms of like learning to assimilate. So, story time. Once upon a time, there was this young dude that thought that him joining the military and dying as a hero in war would prove his parents wrong about who he was as a person. And though he did sign up for the military, he never actually, died in the middle of combat, showing us off his true colors and dying a hero. Instead, he went on deployment to like a humanitarian thing, helping out refugees in Syria and stuff. And, talking to a therapist during that time about, again, some of like the panic attacks and stuff that come up. And there was a lot of progress that was made there. That was the first time that I actually realized, like, oh, okay, so my childhood was classified as sad, and there are people out there who actually have happy childhoods. Like, it's not like having a sad childhood is not the only option, which is what this person thought for a while. Anyways, starting from scratch, talking with this therapist, we finally found a way to like manage it. I learned how to sort of make it a part of us and who we are as a person, and sort of adjust our lives to handle it and that kind of thing. And it was really cool because in what, a year, we made a ton of progress. I mean, we went from this very moody, flighty, can't get up and study, can't control their own thoughts, that kind of thing, um, to this person who, had a routine, like work out every day, meditate every day, uh, do something social, hang out with friends, go volunteer for the community, just something to get out and deal with people every day. And yeah, now we're kind of back at where we were on deployment, where we're a little broken, and this major thing has happened in our life that sort of has changed the whole reality, changed the whole expectation, and now we're learning how to come back from that, you know, because that's really what this is all about. This whole thing is just about coming back better, stronger, coming back more capable to help other people and reach out to the communities and make a difference and that kind of thing. It still sucks that it had to happen this way. Like, I mean, I believe in true love, man. Like, I believe in that, like, Princess Bride kind of love where they're in the swamps, right? And Wesley's identifying his true self or whatever. And she was like, "But I heard you were pillaged by the dread pirate robbers. And I thought you were dead." And he was like, I'm trying to remember what he says, because I really don't want to mess it up. He basically says something along the lines of like, "Silly girl, death cannot stop true love. It's the most powerful thing in the world." Like that kind of thing. Like I really believe that. I still do. I believe that like true love is a powerful force. It's a lot more powerful than we give it credit towards. We don't see it as often because, I don't know, it takes a lot of work, and there's just a certain sort of, what would you call it, lifestyle that fosters true love. And, it's more rare to see that nowadays than I guess back in the day. I don't know what day I'm talking about, but I feel like all of our grandparents during the 1940s and prior talked about living a more magical life. Anyways, yeah. So to believe in true love like that, and then to have this happen between me and my wife, it just, it's gut wrenching. But I refuse to let this be the last chapter. So that's why we're here. Because I don't know. That's what I'm relearning here, and this is something that somebody told me over the week. They were like, "Yeah, dude, no, we need you, man." And that's weird to hear. It's kind of really weird to hear that somebody like needs me, or that I'm important enough that they want me to stick around. You know, which is weird because on my end, I would say the same thing about you. And I'm not even being facetious, but like seriously, like we need you. Like the world needs you. I don't care how reclusive or how much of a burden to society you think you are. There's somebody out there whose life is a little bit more joyful just because you're around. Whether that's a direct cause or an indirect cause. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of a story here. Like, okay, I'll give you this one. So, working at Enterprise, it was a Saturday. It was a really busy Saturday, too. I don't know if everybody was like going to a convention or something like that, but we had guys just coming in for cars, and we didn't have any. Like, we were running out. There was this one guy that came in. He had been in an accident. He was looking to get a car, and I told him, I mean, if you want to wait till close and we can see if we have anything left over, then we could do it. But I don't have anything ready for you right now. Yeah, so he decided to wait, and he waited. We thought we had a car, but it didn't work out. And then somebody came in for their car that was reserved. So we almost had to kick out this guy who was in an accident. And then by some sort of grace, we ended up finding this insurance guy a car. And this whole process took about 2 hours. And that is an insane amount of time to wait for anything. I mean, doctor's appointments, even the DMV has better track record than like having somebody wait around for 2 hours doing what, TikTok, Facebook? I don't even know. Anyway, so we got this guy into a car, we pulled him off and everything, and his friend was sitting there on the curb, and I just passed him on the way back, and I was like, oh, dude, we got it. We finally got your guy a car. And, yeah, he just kind of gives me this fist bump, and he was like, yeah, #1 customer service guy right here. He's such a cool dude. I freaking miss that guy. And it was what, maybe a 5-second interaction or whatever, but oh my gosh, man, it made me feel so good about myself, and like everything that I was doing actually made a difference, you know? That's what I'm talking about. It's just those random little moments that like you perform either with other people or even like online or stuff like that, you know? That again, just bring joy to other people. And I'm so glad that we all get to be a part of that. You know, we get to be in a society where we're connected. And I do know that it's stressful. You know, there's challenges that come with living in like a modern sort of, what would you call it, digital age, that kind of thing. But I mean, keep in mind that nobody else has had this opportunity before. I mean, we can go back like, you know, hundreds of thousands of years to the first anthropological Homo sapiens that, what, drew pictures on a wall, that kind of thing. And here you can literally get on Facebook and like friend just thousands and thousands of people. It's kind of a cool concept when you think about it. I mean, never before have we been able to be, I'm gonna say blessed or lucky or whatever, enough to be able to talk to people. Which is a little cheek and tongue, because I know there's some people that think it's kind of a burden that people can just say whatever they want. Like when people get on Facebook and talk about how they saw this weird graffiti thing on the gas station, how it made them rethink life. Don't get me wrong, it's important to them, but you know, when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see some weird, I don't know what symbol it is on a cement thing, it's one of those like, huh, I don't, I don't get this. This does not speak to me. But yeah, everybody's got their own justifications. As why am I forgetting his name? Some sort of philosopher, which said nobody's crazy. You know, everybody has justification for why and what they do. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, just bear with me. Like, I'm just taking this time to sort of, you know, wait for inspiration on what to say and what I think should go on here. Because right now, I think the biggest thing is just letting you guys or the world or just, you know, maybe I just need to put this out to the universe. But I'm just so grateful for people, you know? I'm so grateful for my neighbor coming out today and just, you know, being like, dude, thank you so much for helping me out with this thing when, you know, I was struggling and stuff like that. Or little 5-year-old neighbor kid who was, you know, like, he's so funny, dude. He's like, Mr. White, I love you. And then he just like runs off. And I'm like, dude, you can't just be hitting me with that cuteness stuff. First of all, I don't like to cry in public. Second of all, I don't think I'm ready for this kind of small token of appreciation kind of stuff. Or like my best friend, you know. The other day I was riding my motorcycle, tried to take a dirt road, didn't work. I wrecked, punched a hole in a part of the metal. It punched a hole in part of the engine that like leaked all the oil out. And yeah, called my best friend. He was in there with like an hour to just come give me a ride home with my bike and everything. That's special. I'm super grateful for that. Because it provides these small flashes of beauty that kind of get me through the long dark nights of, mourning and despair. Because that's really all I'm doing right now. Is just literally like living moment to moment. Like I can't do anything else. Honestly, there's no point in doing anything else. Like we had plans, we forecasted for the future, came up with ideas on how we wanted to start things, or move forward. And with all that gone, I mean, it almost feels like the future's gone. So, what more can you do than just focus on the now? Which is really cool. And again, that works for me. Like, I'm not a doctor. You got to do your own thing and figure this all out. Figure out what works for you. But just know that I'm here with you. And, yeah. I know you guys are doing your best. And I appreciate it. The world's a little bit better place because of it. So, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. And, yeah, we'll just move forward. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, appreciate you guys. See you later.